Okay, hi. Welcome to I'll Watch It Later podcast. I am Aaron, joined as always by my best friend Jordan.
Hello.
And my best friend, producer, brother-in-law, Scott.
I do nothing.
You don't see enough movies. So we are back. It's I don't know, the second week of November or something like that. We watched a movie and we're going to talk about it, but not that much.
We watched the movie. All right, guys, we're going to get you next week.
Pretty much.
We're immediately going to go into what my pick is
That's
for next
gonna
week,
happen.
so we don't have to talk about this movie.
Just want to say thank you for everybody who listened and followed along last month with the Snack Show. I thought the top 5 show was one of our best shows. The Snack Show was a lot of fun. We got more stuff coming your way, more exclusives. I think we just ran into like the Sonic Seltzers and the Bud Light holiday seltzers.
And we got a 6-pack of Hidden Valley Ranch soda for Aaron to drink.
I'm not going to do it.
We need to think of some like bet that we have to lose, and that would be our first like broadcasted visually kind of show where we have to drink that one.
I just want to see Aaron.
I won't do it.
I just want to watch Aaron gag.
I'm telling you right
time.
now, if we can get one of these episodes to say get 100 downloads, I'm drinking that. I'm drinking.
If we can get 100 downloads on one episode, I'll drink the soda. I'll drink one soda.
So
the whole
this is
thing.
when I heavily push the social media.
Does it have to be?
Let's hope you do that
Does it have to be a
I
new
do, but-
show, or is it any show gets 100?
No, it has to be a newer show.
Okay.
Any show from here on out.
Yeah.
You hear that, people? Get it out to your friends.
Yep. The first.
Tell them to download it. They don't even have to listen to it. Just tell them to download it. Rack our numbers up because I want Aaron.
I'm gonna
drink
get a
ranch
new
soda.
cell phone plan just to do this. I'm gonna get this up there.
That's a lot of cell phone plans.
Well, you know what? It's worth it.
So anyways, guys, we got this month is just, we're doing our own thing this month. Next month, which is December, we'll move into holiday movies, shows, and me and Jordan are also going to do a top 5 movies of the year for you. I would say Scott, but he's might seen 5 movies in the last 8 years, so he'll just be there to talk about the ones he's seen. And I guess find music where he's like, I'm gonna kill myself.
I'll be there for moral support on you guys because you guys will have all your lists and your apps and all your shit that you guys do, and I'll just sit there and shake my head and be like, "Yep, that was good.
Yeah,
yep, that one sucked."
So we'll be doing it. Jordan and I will be doing a top 5. We'll probably throw some worst movies of the year in there. We'll do that, and then starting January, we're going to do theme months, and then it doesn't mean we're not going to move back to just doing random movies. But I think the theme months will make this a little bit more structured. We'll be able to really, really dig into some, much better films than what we're about to talk about. So that's kind of the plan moving forward. Didn't you say you had something for us this week? You did. Yeah, you, Scott.
I had something for you.
Yeah. Go back and listen to the last episode. Next week we have something for you.
No.
Yeah, he did.
I was talking about the music bed.
Yeah, I was talking about just doing new working
behind
on
the
some new
scenes stuff
production.
that no one wants to listen to.
No, but you said it on mic.
Yeah, I said I just be working on some new production stuff.
Oh, you just okay.
He was
whatever.
excited.
I was because I thought it was a surprise.
He thought Scott was going to actually do something.
You literally
instead.
said I have new stuff for you guys next week. So you don't.
What would I have?
I don't. You tell me. You said it on the mic. All right. So, anyways, no, this is fine. What was it? We
have to fill time. We don't want to talk about this movie.
Right. That is literally what I'm doing at this point in time.
Would you like me to read the breakdown of the movie?
No, that's my job because
Well,
it was
then
my
let's get your shit together.
fucking movie. No, dude, I'm going to tell you. You said
I've got it up on my screen.
Stuff. Yeah, anyways. From 1998, we watched Safe Men.
Sam and Eddie have come to a critical point in their musical career.
We gonna get it on. We're gonna turn this brother out. Yeah.
The end.
Yeah, put your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. Let me hear you say, oh, oh, all right.
But now,
You cracked this guy's safe, he made $36,000.
their new career choice isn't very sound.
It's wide open. It's open?
And it certainly isn't safe.
You want to know who I work for?
Me.
You're big fat Bernie Gale.
Really prefer people not use the fat part.
Terrible things start to happen.
Do you think you can pay for big fat Bernie Gale?
He's good!
I'm gonna give the two of you 1 week to crack 3 safes. Because if you don't, I'm gonna kill the both of you.
Now, they've got to get cracking. 3 safes. 2 losers.
Did you think this was a positive career move?
1 week.
If you don't crack the safes, I'm gonna saw both your legs off. Then I'm gonna beat you over the head with the stumps.
No chance.
Let's go.
You guys are breaking into my dad's safe.
There's no way that you could just give us the combination. Apricot or raspberry? This man is in the mafia, Sam. He's not going to let us off the hook because we send him a basket of sundry goods. He's in the Jewish mafia. I'm sure that's much more like a club.
October Films presents a comedy.
I once sold a woman a pair of exploding slacks.
About 2 guys who are so incompetent, it's a crime.
Yeah, okay, so this movie was directed by John Hamburg, and if you're like, who is that, and why did you pick this? So I thought this, like, what was the other one I picked? Hard 8 with Paul Thomas Anderson. I thought this would be relevant and funny. This was, like, one of his first films. He directed, like, I Love You Man, Why Him, which was terrible. Along Came Polly, Night School. He's a big hit-or-miss guy, but I was thinking Sam Rockwell, Steve Zahn, Paul Giamatti, Peter Dinklage shows up in this film.
There's a lot of people in this movie.
This is such a 90s movie, but...
Did you say he had a short cameo?
Whoa, yeah.
very small.
I thought that was very funny. So, Sam and Eddie are just a couple of clueless, untalented singers, but when they are mistaken for a pair of safe-cracking geniuses by a mobster named Veal Chop, Jesus Christ, I hate reading that out loud, they are unwittingly sucked into a life of crime. Though they have no idea what they are doing, Sam and Eddie have no choice but to go along with Mafia's orders and break into the safes. Things get even more complicated when Sam falls for the daughter of the robbery victim. That's all you need to know, because that was pretty much the whole story, but not really, because they were like, we're going to kill you, but not really going to kill you, even though you're complete and total fuck-ups. It was real bad, guys. I don't care about bearing the lead on this film, because this movie was fucking terrible.
So with the amount of people that are in this movie, you would think that I had never even heard of this movie.
Right.
I mean, I've never seen like.
Guess there's a reason for it.
Like a trailer or something. You know, I mean, you see trailers for movies that are in the theater, and yeah, that doesn't interest me. But you know that if somebody kind of brought it back to you, you're like, oh yeah, I remember seeing that. Mm-hmm. I don't remember seeing this. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm excited, man, because it's got Steve Zahn. I like some of the stuff Steve Zahn did. You know, I mean, with, you know, some of his other movies. And with the cast, I was thinking, okay, man, this is going to be one of those that is going to be like a, you know, an underground type
That's what
comedy
I was.
thing.
That is what I.
Holy shit! I did notice one huge, you know, when they you can pick out mistakes in movies.
Yes.
It's right at the beginning after the first credits. It's an hour and 28 minutes of one giant mistake.
I was just gonna say. The entire movie the mistake.
Wow. Yeah, it was. I think, what is it? 88 minutes long, and I'm sitting there
it
going,
felt like
it's
it.
a nice short movie. No big deal. I'm excited to watch it. And then as the week kept going, you were like, have you watched it yet? And then we kind of started talking about it. It's like, oh God, have you started watching it yet? I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna watch this movie. I put it on, and I was like, this movie is boring. And I already hate this movie. And I sent a picture to Aaron. He goes, you literally just started this movie. I'm like, I know. This movie is fucking garbage.
You know, it's funny because back in the day, back in the 90s, or when I worked at Hollywood Video or whatever, I'd find these gems of these comedies that no one had ever seen. And I was hoping and praying for that, especially like I've said a million times, with the cast.
Has the ingredients.
It has all the ingredients. It felt to me like Stealing Harvard or
Happy Texas.
Oh no, but Happy Texas is a good film.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it reminded me, just the box art, just the yellow box and all that stuff. Happy Texas is, when you mentioned this movie, that's what I thought you were describing, because that's another Steve Zahn movie that I would rather watch than this movie.
Right, and you can tell that Sam Rockwell and Steve Zahn are cutting their chops in this film, like, you know, and not necessarily a bad way. listen, right, I'm going to tell you straight up, this movie is straight garbage. That there is not anything redeeming about this. It wants to be kind of like a it thinks it's clever, like a Get Shorty, but it's not even close. It's not even on the same in the same universe as those
they
films.
tried to have the smart, quick dialogue
Yes.
or one-liners and things like that, and there's only one scene that kind of worked. Is when they were breaking into the safe,
And
then the girl's just standing there, and they're kind of talking, and like her the way she approached it was very dry, and like, why are you breaking into the house? Oh, this is my dad's house. Like, she wasn't even like upset. She was just like, hey, what are you doing here? Kind of situation. That was the only one that even remotely worked back and forth.
See,
but then the rest of the movie was just.
I thought it was trying way too hard. I rolled my eyes so hard during that scene because I was like, you want this to be a smart film.
Right.
And you've already set up that it's slapstick with, I'm big fat, whatever the fuck your name is. Don't call, I don't like the big fat part. And, the whole veal chop, Paul Giamatti.
Big fat Bernie Gale.
Yeah. And I don't like the, yeah.
He's a Jewish mobster in fucking Providence, Rhode Island. This is where this takes place. And they're making Rhode Island and Providence to be like New York City in this, where there's a pair of top safecrackers in town, and that's what he's trying to hire, and that's how he gets these two idiots involved, because the safecrackers, after pulling a job, don't go to the bar like they usually do.
Right.
And these morons
They
just
order
happen
the
to be
same
in there.
drink.
No, they didn't even order the same drink. Paul Giamatti just assumed they were there
right.
for that, and he bought them the drinks. And then through the course of the night, telling all these stories, Paul Giamatti has a dialogue about some character I don't fucking care about, who ends up being Peter Dinklage later on in the movie.
Right.
And
Which is the funniest concept of the whole movie.
right. And
It still didn't make me laugh.
no, it was terrible. Because it happened so quickly. Like, he shows up, she goes, LaFleur, this. And then they are sitting down. He, says, okay, cool, you in love with this guy? And then bounces.
He's a midget hitman with a sledgehammer.
The greatest part of it. And you could have made the entire movie about him, and I would have been happy. But, and then it suffered from the exact same thing that you and I have both talked about. If they would have just said, oh no, we are not these two guys.
Right.
This movie would have been done in the bar.
Yes.
And that's it. But instead, you have to suffer through fucking Mark Ruffalo's porn stash. You have to suffer through
Caterpillar.
Which, by the way,
pumpkin pie fucking haircut on
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell, like,
which apparently that chick is into, which
oh
was
my
so
God.
weird.
He
to
looked
me.
like Jim Carrey's character in Dumb and Dumber.
Well,
It
that's
just looked like someone put a
exactly
bow
what I
on his
thought.
head
Yeah.
and cut across.
Well, that's what I
I thought that they're trying to make these guys like Lloyd and Harry.
Well,
Right.
I thought that they were pulling from other movies. Like, this is the worst part of every
worst
Kevin
parts of
Smith.
every movie.
Yeah, the worst part of every Kevin Smith film. The worst parts of like Stealing Harvard, those early 2000s and 90s,
Yeah.
just throwaway comedies, and it's just like, man. Like, make up your mind, and then at the same time thinking it's smart with Paul Giamatti. Oh, you want to know my real name? I'm wearing a Power Rangers shirt. Blah, 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 blah. Like, dude, you're not pulling this off. I don't know how they read this script and was like, yes, this is excellent.
I kept sitting there going, okay, I can think of other movies as I see these actors. I'm like sitting there going, Mark Ruffalo, I would rather go watch Brothers Bloom.
Right.
I'm looking at Sam Rockwell. I'm like, I'd rather go watch Choke. Right. That was a way better fucking
I love
movie.
Choke. Or Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Any
which is a
Paul
great
Giamatti movie, I'd rather go fucking watch him in Planet of the Apes. That
Well, this was-
shitty fucking Tim Burton Planet of the Apes. I'd rather watch him fully made up as an orangutan than watch this fucking movie.
This was pre-Sideways, so I understand his involvement. You know what I mean? Like, Sideways is where he really broke out. And
because I'm sitting there, I'm also thinking about Paul Giamatti, and I'm like, I can't think of a lot of Paul Giamatti movies that I think he was that good in.
Really?
Like, I think about
One
it.
of
He
my
was
favorite
just in the
movies-
Jungle Book.
One of my favorite movies he was in was Private Parts.
Great.
Yeah, I love.
And that was, because he's pig vomit.
Yes.
But you got to think, okay,
Straight
so...
out of Compton.
Oh, man. Okay.
I forgot.
That'll do that one. All right, cool. Well, let's watch Straight Outta
Hey,
Compton.
guess who's bringing movie content to the table?
Shit, that's his top 2 right there.
Barely.
There's my top 2 for the
He
next
just wasted his
16
top
years.
5. Sorry, guys.
was
Scott
just-
can't participate.
He was in Saving Private Ryan, Lady in the Water, which I consider
Lady in
good.
the Water is terrible.
Oh, I like that movie.
Because you're terrible.
Oh, Cinderella Man.
Eh.
What? Shoot 'em Up. I thought that was a pretty fun
No,
movie.
but see, that's not a good movie. I like it. It's a bad movie. You like it. You know it's a bad movie. It's
Right.
a terrible movie.
Yeah.
It's a good movie for us. No, I'm not...
The Truman Show, American Splendor, stuff like that. But I think his real breakout was Sideways. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody talks
Clearly,
about Sideways.
yeah.
So, yeah. Like I said, I don't really know. I don't want to discuss this movie for an hour because I hated it.
Oh, we're not going to.
So I don't really know where to go from here. But what did you think, Scott?
So I had to rent this movie. I'm a pirate when it comes to getting my movies. I'm a dirty pirate hooker.
Just online that you steal.
I get all my movies. I'll find a way to stream it someplace. I could not find this movie, and I had to pay $3.
Oh, I tried to.
And I'm trying to figure out who I can get my $3 back from.
No one.
Because
we have no petty cash.
I sat there.
It's all going to seltzers.
In my chair. And a lot of times I will sit and watch a movie alone, and you laugh to yourself because things are funny. Like, you don't like belly laugh, but a lot of times, you like,
oh yeah, I
kind of chuckle.
A few things.
I did not do that once. I sat very stoic, very straight faced the whole time, and I remember my arms being crossed. And I was just watching this movie thinking, when does this movie get funny? Because it's not funny at all.
I kept looking at my phone. Like, I was just bored.
There was never a payoff. When you go back and you think about what this movie could have been with what they put in this movie, they could have made it probably funny because of, with Peter Dinklage's character, with the two idiots that are the safecrackers, with the Jewish freaking dude that's throwing the bat mitzvah for his son. There were so many things that you could have funny moments. And I do what I always do. I went to YouTube and I started searching to see, okay, what did I miss? What have people said about this?
No one's
there's
seen it.
there's one fucking video of a guy who is reviewing this movie, and he calls it a comedy masterpiece movie. And I'm like, what different fucking movie did you watch?
Did you immediately watch it again and then change your opinion like somebody else at the table?
No, because I didn't there was no redeeming shit to this movie that I wanted to go back and watch it at all. And I was really hoping, because I was like, this is one of those kind of movies that Aaron picks that's like very, it's off the wall.
Little indie, not mainstream.
It's not a safe pick. I go sometimes with the safe picks because I go with movies that people have kind of maybe heard of.
Have you heard about Marvel's Spider-Man?
Yeah. We're watching Thor Ragnarok next week.
We've all seen that. But but I try to pick movies that we haven't seen that are on this huge long list of,
that's what I'm saying.
That I need to see before I die type of situation.
Well, and this film will make you die. You don't need to see it before you die, because you will die while you're watching this movie of boredom.
So here's the thing. They did something in this movie that I thought was going to have a huge payoff. So Harvey Fierstein, gay Jewish actor.
He's great in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Perfect.
Birdcage.
In Independence Day. David.
Yeah.
He's just great. He plays a straight man in this movie, which was very weird. And he's telling a story
about
on
the
Rosh
pants?
Hashanah about the pants. That was possibly the only funny redeeming moment of this movie. He's telling a story about this woman who bought these bootleg pants that he got that were about to be taken off the market because they're flammable. He took them anyway and was selling them in a store. And this woman buys them and loves the pants. She comes over and barbecuing. Everyone loves the pants. A fucking spark comes off the barbecue, lights the pants on fire. They don't really show it, but he lights the pants on fire, burns this woman to death. When he's asked, has he ever killed a person? So he goes, yes, I guess I have. And it's just like, it's something kind of funny that later on in the movie, Veal Chop is wearing those blue pants. And I'm sitting there going, they're going to burn this. They're going to burn Paul Giamatti down. And the movie ends with everybody fucking happy at a bat mitzvah or a bar mitzvah, just having a great time. Steve Zahn's painted as a golden angel. They stole the Stanley Cup. This movie makes no fucking sense. There was no payoff to the pants story.
Where's the fucking Stanley Cup coming in? I'm like, Jesus Christ.
If this movie started off as, we're going to steal the fucking Stanley Cup, this is going to be National Treasure 3, I would have been way into this movie. Like, they're going to go fucking, sudden death, Jean-Claude Van Damme type shit, go steal the Stanley Cup. But no, this just randomly happens that they're in the last thing. They somehow safe crack because what? They get the Stanley Cup. The other safe crackers come in. They're like, well, I guess you got there before us. Cool. High fives. Let's be friends.
Right.
And everyone bounces.
Just as
Peter
dumb
Dinklage
as them.
shows up for 16 seconds. And then the movie's over. And I'm like, Paul Giamatti's wearing the same pants. Is he going to catch on fire? Like, are they getting revenge? But no, everybody was fine at the end, and it's the dumbest movie I've ever seen.
I'm just glad I didn't buy it.
I re-rented it. And, yeah, I'm so happy you don't own it and you finally watched it, and then now you're sitting there with like this, Vinegar Syndrome $25 special edition of Safe Men on your shelf that I just want to fucking rip. it had so much potential with the cast, but did nothing with it. The only other redeeming portion of this movie was just a fleeting moment, and I still think you could take it completely out and it wouldn't fucking change this movie, is when they the taco shop had the timer. I'll get it to you in 30 minutes. So like the safe guys were using them as the timer. So like we're gonna rob the safe, and by the time we're done, the taco guy's gonna be at the front door. We're gonna get our tacos. Like that was kind of funny, but also really stupid.
And he gets there, and they jump him with like a second left.
They jump him because they
Steal
ordered
the
the
tacos.
tacos. They stole it. They give him money, and they run off. So like they ordered dinner while they were robbing the house.
It felt like Ninja Turtles, like it was stolen from Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys got 30 minutes. Come on, like it's been done in better
Right.
movies. I didn't even think that was redeeming.
No, it's not redeeming. I just thought like that's the only part I kind of chuckled at, and then that's after that I was just like, this movie's dumb.
Yeah, I know.
And that was like in the first 5 minutes.
I wanted to like it so bad. I thought Mark Ruffalo. I was like, Mark Ruffalo, yeah. I didn't know he was actually in it until I watched it. I only read the synopsis and knew the two main characters. And when he's sitting there doing the save, I'm like, oh, this is it, man.
Like
I got a fucking
porn stash you'll ever see.
Yeah, and he's like in love with the daughter, who's now in love with Sam Rockwell. It didn't make any fucking sense. Anyways, I hate this movie. I hate that we're talking about it. It's a 0 for me. I know it's early in the show. I don't care. It's a 0. We can talk about movie news. A lot of Disney stuff happened yesterday. I saw other movies.
Oh shit, lots of shit.
Fucking it's a 0. What about you guys? What'd you give it? And I hate to do this early in the movie. I know you listen to the show, just we'll do the one thing. I got 4 other movies to talk about. It's fine. I just fuck this movie.
This is where we are admitting our mistakes right now, and we're owning up as adults, and we're coming to terms with the fact that sometimes it's good, sometimes it's shit.
Yeah, but it's really bad this time.
And this time it's shit.
We've picked some bad movies on this film or on this show.
You know what though? Like I feel like we have had a good record. Like,
yeah.
Even our lowest rated movie, what was that? Career Opportunities.
Yes.
I would
still rewatch.
It's watchable.
Like I would watch that movie. Like as much as I think it had flaws, it's still a watchable from beginning to end. If you're gonna watch any of these movies that we've ever talked about, watch that movie. This movie, I don't want people to watch this.
No.
I can't recommend it.
Nope.
I don't want people to understand what's going on. I don't need people to see like Mark Ruffalo when he was younger. No, fuck this movie.
I always tell you guys to follow along. This is the one time I'm going to tell you not go out and watch something else, like something you've been wanting to watch and just haven't.
No,
I
didn't like this
I
at
can't. Yeah.
This does not get the "I'll watch it later" stamp of approval.
No.
On the front of the video cassette, you're not going to see our logo on it endorsing this movie.
Can we talk about how gross that is that studios are putting Rotten Tomato scores on the front of like DVDs and stuff now? I hate it so much,
dude. It's the Yelp of movies.
But you know what it is? You
matter.
see it on a lot of these like indie movies, like these lower rated movies. Like you'll see it like on the cover of Mandy
or Pig.
But what they're not showing is that 4 people reviewed it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like 300 people said this is a great movie, 90%. Fuck you. 4 guys, probably in the same showing, saw the movie and said, "Yeah, that's pretty good."
And I feel
it's like Family Feud. We surveyed 100 people, and this is what they said.
No, it's not even that. Those are actual critics.
Yeah.
But what the thing is about it is like, if you know about Mandy, you already know if you like it or not. If you've seen Pig, you already know if you like it or not. And those are just 2 Nicolas Cage movies. But I'm just so tired.
But
of seeing
we've
that.
got to know what the critics think about it because the critics are gospel.
I'm not gonna lie. One of my theme months is gonna be Nicolas Cage.
Cool, because there's plenty that I have not seen, Nicolas Cage wise. But what did you guys give it? I just want to get done with the stupid Safeman stuff.
I was the same way. I actually was driving home this morning and thought to myself, I'm like, can I give a movie a 0?
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe it's just a 0.5 because it exists. And then I'm like,
people worked on it. I hate that argument. People worked on it, so it's not terrible.
Yeah. But it actually bothers me that I thought about this, and I thought, can I give a movie a 0? And I'm going to give a movie
be the worst of the worst for you.
Yeah, I'm going to give a movie a 0 because, again, this is a movie that I can't even say. Maybe I'll give another chance to.
No.
And I'll watch it again.
If it showed up on TV, I'd change the channel.
I would change it in a heartbeat. It was not funny. The story was stupid. It was and I can take a stupid story and I could just reel that in with the best of them. Dumb and Dumber is one of my favorite movies that is the stupidest story on the face of the planet, and it works, and it's a funny ass movie.
I think the story's all right.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a totally dumb
works better
ass.
than this one.
Yeah.
It's a dumb ass concept, but it's funny because it works. This is a dumbass concept that just it never works, and it's a 0.
Yeah, I like a lot of bad movies. Like I'm okay with watching a bad movie.
Me too.
This movie I'll never watch again. I have nothing else to add. It's a 0 for me, which is weird because there's been very few. Like if I went to the movie theater to see this, I probably would have walked out.
Right,
and it's 88 minutes. Like,
and I don't walk out of a lot of shit. I wanted to turn it off, but I had to talk about it. So
I've walked out of 2 movies. There was one, I think it was Possession with Gwyneth Paltrow and not the other Possession.
Okay, I was
it's like a Gwyneth Paltrow movie, Aaron Eckhart movie. I walked out of that one, and I walked out of this next one, and you're probably gonna give me shit for it because I still haven't gone back and rewatched it. Hot Rod.
I love Hot Rod.
I know you do, and I knew you were going to say that.
So fucking good.
But see, for me, at the time I liked Andy Samberg in Lonely Island stuff, but I hated that movie, and now I have a higher appreciation for Andy Samberg shit. I might go back and rewatch.
Dude,
this movie, Safe Men, I will never rewatch it. I will never watch it again.
Have you seen Hot Rod?
I have.
Dude, did you like it?
It's funny.
It's hilarious.
It's not one of those like great movies.
The story is very lackluster. Yeah. It doesn't matter,
but it's funny.
There are some hilarious bits in it, like where they're passing out the flyers and that dude just throws it in that guy's face and starts up in the air.
Yeah, see,
I laugh
that's
every
the
time.
other movie I've walked out of.
I've walked out of.
I would have walked out of this.
One movie.
Let's turn this into the show about movies we walked out of because I got several.
I've only walked out of
Short
one
list.
movie.
What?
Striptease.
Really?
Yes.
You were forced.
No, so.
Sir, you can't do that in here.
Yeah,
like this isn't porn.
I think exactly. Striptease came out when I was a lot younger. I think I was just out of like high school.
Walked across the hall to Showgirls.
Yeah, and we actually. So I think we went to AMC theaters and we did the old like pay for the first movie and just keep theater hopping.
Back when the security was a little lackluster.
Yeah, when you could just walk into another movie. So I think, and don't crucify me if I get this wrong. It might have been. We went to watch Independence Day, if I remember correctly.
What was that? What, in 94?
Maybe. I don't know. It could be the dates might not line up. Somebody don't fucking email me and say you're fucking wrong. I'm getting an email from Aaron. I'm getting an email from Aaron right now. You're fucking wrong. You're stupid. But I believe we went to go see Independence Day, and then we saw that Striptease was playing, and it was. As kids, you're like, oh, dude, this is the forbidden thing because it had so much movie hype behind it.
Right.
And we went, and I was like, okay, where's the stripping? Where's the naked chicks? There's none of that in here, and it's a terrible
Burt Reynolds is
acting
covered
movie.
in like literal fucking Vaseline. This is great.
Yeah, and I was like, we just looked at my buddies, and I'm like, let's get out of here, man. I can't even just do this anymore.
So when I was a kid, we walked out of Bebe's Kids, but I was forced out because my aunt took me out. We walked out of Cool World, which I've seen since, and I love that movie. But
is that the one with Vanilla Ice?
No, that's Cool as Ice.
Cool World with Brad Pitt.
Oh, Cool World.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were talking about Cool as Ice.
I was forced out of that because it's like the cartoon had sex with Brad Pitt, and my aunts did not like that.
Ditch the zero, get with a hero.
Yeah. So, and then as an adult, ones that I actually walked out of. Oh, I might get shit for one. Nothing Like the Holidays with Luis Guzman.
Oh God, I don't think I've ever seen that.
It was horrific.
That's bad that you named him as like the only actor in that movie. He's like,
I think
I
Alfred
can't think of
Molina's
any
in
like
it.
Luis Guzman led movies that I would want to
Luis Guzman, John Leguizamo, Deborah Messing, Alfred Molina, Freddie Rodriguez.
That's a cat.
It was horrible.
Okay.
I also walked out of, and I have since rewatched, and I must have just been having a bad day. Body of Lies with Leonardo DiCaprio. I thought it was boring as shit.
Oh yeah.
And then I went back and I watched it again. I was like, this movie's excellent.
I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of Leonardo DiCaprio movies that I have not really identified with. Like, I never really liked Blood Diamond. I know it's a good movie, but I wasn't into it because his accent's fucking terrible. I hated Shutter Island because from the commercial I could predict the fucking ending of that movie.
Aaron is
I gotta go.
Aaron is just
It's a bad movie.
rage squeezing his nipples right
He is.
now.
He's actually very upset.
It is not a bad movie. It's fucking
Terrible.
excellent.
You could. That's another Mark Ruffalo movie. Stay away from it.
No. Watch Shutter Island tonight.
I'll tell
it's
you the
fucking
ending.
excellent.
And then when you're done, watch Safe Men.
No,
Oh.
don't. Did you see Shutter Island?
Yes.
And you thought it wasn't good?
predictable.
It was okay.
It's a good movie. It's Martin Scorsese film.
So what?
What
so,
are you
okay,
fucking saying?
So
It
you
is
can't
good.
say Martin Scorsese and say, oh, because everything he does is fucking wonderful. No, that movie, I literally guessed that movie. I put the plot entirely on like
because you
Facebook
guessed-
when it first came out. Before it came out, I said, no, this is what's going to happen in this movie just based off the trailer. I was right. That movie
That doesn't mean
was
anything.
boring.
No.
But Scott, you're probably right. It looks like at the end of June 1996 was Striptease, and then obviously Independence Day came out that like about a week later.
So my memory is still functioning.
Yep.
For a
Give
brief,
it about a week.
For a
but
brief
yep,
moment.
Exactly. So yeah, no, I'm trying to think of another Leonardo DiCaprio movie that I really didn't like. Gilbert Grape. I like Gilbert Grape.
Shutter Island is.
See, I was just thinking Gilbert Grape, but I mean, it's good for the acting. I mean,
That's
it's
more
just,
of a
it's
Johnny
just,
Depp.
Yeah, it's
movie.
one of those just kind of it's a drama, kind of hits you in the feels type movie, and sometimes it's not into that.
I always think about having to cut that house open to get the mom out. It just bums me out. Whenever I feel like I'm bad about myself, I'm like, I gotta stop eating snacks, and then I watch that movie, I'm like, I can have another cookie. I'm okay.
I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio's best film is The Departed by far. It's my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio film.
That is a good movie.
I love that movie.
I still want to watch the original. That might be part of our
Infernal Affairs.
That might be part of our.
I thought it was the Romeo and Juliet thing.
I love Romeo and Juliet too. That's a good movie.
Paul Rudd. I do love that movie. Yeah, Paul Rudd looking the same since fucking what was it, 94, 95?
So what is going to be our next movie, Jordan?
Oh wow, I'm not even ready for that.
I know. I threw it right
get-
to
I'm
you
gonna
as
get
you
the
drink
right-
the
Too busy
coffee.
drinking his Starbucks.
Right.
I'm going to ask him to bring home some Starbucks.
Right?
now.
See? Just to put Safe Men in perspective real quick while I'm looking up stuff on this next movie that I'm going to pick.
Oh, what did you give it?
A 0.
Oh, I figured.
Fucking 0.
Man, it just got the triple goose egg.
Yep. And that's gonna be rare because there's gonna be a lot of movies we don't agree on, like we've just shown. But yeah, no, that was a bad movie. So speaking of John Leguizamo, I would rather watch this movie.
Pest.
Yes, I was
Sorry,
just about to
sorry.
say The Fucking Pest. That's a funnier and very stupid movie
I remember
that I would watch way over fucking Safe Men.
I remember
And
seeing that as a kid,
it's
and
bad.
I hated it. Even as a kid.
Watch it again. It's terrible. I love it. It's just one of those guilty pleasure movies.
It's
Like,
kind of and probably it's probably a little better, but to me, when you said Pest, it reminds me. I'm kind of racking and stacking it with like Freddy Got Fingered.
I know everybody hates that film. I like it.
I think it's
I don't think
funny.
I finished it.
It is not a good movie
No,
by
no.
any means, but it at least has moments. All I remember from fucking Freddy Got Fingered is when he's got that giant cheese log and he's holding it like a dick and he's like hitting people in the head and he's like ding dong, ding dong.
See, I always remember the hot dogs on the fucking screens.
Everyone
He's like,
knows.
I'm just
Teddy,
a
would you
child.
Would you like some sausages? And he's just like playing and like I may not like fully like that movie, but that part always makes me kind of
See,
total.
I've laughed more just talking about Freddy Got Fingered
Or
than
when
we
he-
did in Safe Man.
When he hits the deer and then he cuts it open and he's like inside of it and people are like, what's wrong with you? I think Freddy Got Fingered is underrated. I mean, why would Rip Torn do that film?
Why not? What is he doing? Let's see. All right, so my movie, I'm gonna do a sci-fi movie. I don't think we've really done a whole lot of well, we did Dark City, but I don't think we've done a whole lot of sci-fi type movies. It's a sci-fi thriller. It's about an hour and 40 minutes. It's from 2018. It stars Pedro Pascal, Sophie Thatcher, and
Mandalorian.
I fucking hate you. It is not why I'm picking this movie.
Mandalorian is the best, so I have to pick this film. It is the way.
I hate you guys. I hate you guys so much. Anyway.
I don't even know what's coming.
Yeah, he doesn't even know.
I'm
what
so
the
stupid with
fuck.
movies. I don't even know what's coming.
He's
So
like, who's Pedro Pascal?
I'm like sitting here like clapping my hands. I'm like,
God
ooh,
damn.
what's coming? What's coming?
Fucking monkey with symbols over here. 2018's movie Prospect.
.2742 requesting release. I'm here to harvest. I have the location of a massive deposit of Orlac. The Queen's Lair. By my estimation, it's the largest anyone's ever seen. Someone is approaching.
Where are you from?
Nowhere.
How poetic. The Queen's Lair. Where is it?
Drop it!
Now, this is something I have never seen. In all my time in the green, a little girl. We're in the same trough, you and I.
You don't have a ship?
No, I don't. But you will find a way to get home. If you find that buried treasure.
Why should I trust you? You're a killer.
I am indeed. But are you?
All right. Basically, the quick.
Okay, the reason we're laughing is because when we say the movie, we stop talking so that Scott can insert the trailer, and like when you listen to the show,
And everybody backs away
And
from
what
the
I
mics.
usually do is I will back away from the mic as a joke, and because Scott has made such a big deal about it, and Jordan just did it so comically.
I almost hit my head on the fucking closet door over here.
Because we're in a closet.
I appreciate you guys making my job much easier.
Cut all of this out.
God, that was funny.
Anyway, so yeah, the basic premise is a man and his teenage daughter encounter nonstop danger while searching for valuable gems on an alien moon.
Sounds like No Man's Sky, which hopefully it's not as boring as
Maybe it's No Man's Sky 2 years after it released. I don't know. But no, it's got Jay Duplass in it. He's the brother of Mark Duplass, who's been in The League, and he's done a few other movies like Creep, stuff like that. It's got a lot of unknowns. I saw the trailer for it. It looks very low budget, but still kind of cool. I just like these kinds of movies. So
You can get it on Vinegar Syndrome for like $45.
yeah, I actually bought the 4K for like $30. So if you guys want to borrow the the Blu-ray of it, I'll bring it over. You guys can
You
watch
bring a DVD to my house. And see
it. If
what
you
happens
guys
to
want the Betamax version of it, I'm sure you'll probably buy
Aaron's
a
like,
player for
how dare you bring a DVD into my house?
480p.
You don't know, this is a Blu-ray house. Everything is 4K in here.
Those are my only DVDs, and the only reason I own them is there's no Blu-ray.
He's got Cockfighter.
And have you ever heard of that film? No. You got to.
All I can see.
I thought you were kidding. I just noticed that.
Is
Holy
this just
shit.
a tractor beam to that movie that says
If there's not a
Cockfighter?
giant dick on the cover of that, I'm going to be upset.
So, Cockfighter
It's
is like
literally like found footage of cockfights in
no,
Mexico.
it's supposedly very, very good.
So was
the
Saint
reason
Seiya.
I own it is because Quentin Tarantino talked about it.
Oh
I
my
know,
god!
I know.
Quentin Tarantino did it.
I knew
Holy
that was
shit!
coming.
The Mandalorian's a show that you like. Ooh, but fucking Quentin Tarantino's dick's in my mouth. Keep that in, by the way. Don't fucking cut that out.
Oh, Jesus
So when
Christ.
I bought Cockfighter, I was really thinking about Quentin's cock.
Quentin
So
Tarantino
it's-
told me Cockfighter was good, so I'm gonna watch it.
So it
Just
has-
kidding, it's still in plastic.
No, it's not. That's Warren Oates. It's Warren Oates. It's actually funny. I bought it off of eBay, and it is a
They let you back on eBay.
burned copy.
Oh my! Yeah, you have to let me see that.
No, hold on. I want to read you the tagline real fast, and I'll hand it over. The tagline for this film is, he came into town with his cock in his hand, and what he did with it was illegal in 49
Jesus
states. That's the
Christ.
real tagline. And
Oh
it's
my
about a guy who fights.
We may have to derail the show to watch this fucking
Ed
movie.
Begley
Good luck
Jr.
finding it, dude.
No,
We've
we're
got
gonna,
it right here.
No, we're gonna watch this here.
We're gonna do we'll do a live screening.
Someone legit printed this out at home.
Yeah, I didn't realize you could buy movies like that on eBay.
You can't.
Yes, you
You
can.
can.
Because I bought the Cockfighter and I bought Hunter's Blood on eBay. They're both ripped, and that's fine. Whatever. I just want to see the movies. But Vinegar Syndrome, whatever. They need to get it together.
Yeah.
Get it together.
Come on, Vinegar Syndrome, get cockfighting
Get
out.
Cockfighter. Get Hunter's Blood. I'd love to add these to the collection.
Did you watch this yet?
Not
Good.
yet.
This is your next pick.
It's actually not.
None of us have seen this.
This is our Christmas movie.
Oh my god. Oh god. Please let it be a Christmas movie.
It's not.
Filmed in Georgia. This is the story of Frank Mansfield, a drifting loner who has chosen to be mute
With his big
until
cock.
he wins the medal for Cockfighter of the Year. This
So check this
fucking-
out.
I'm in.
It's
No, you sold it to me.
It's 1974. Warren Oates, Harry Dean Stanton is in
Yep.
it. Charles Wilford.
It's based on
Richard-
a novel.
Yeah, and it's directed by Monty Hellman. So, if you don't know who that is, you should kill yourself. No, I'm kidding.
This is great because on the back it actually says this film is also known as Born to Kill, Wild Drifter, and Gambling Man. All three titles would have been probably easier to sell, but they put Cockfighter right on the front of this box.
Yeah, so it's like Monty Hellman did like Two-Lane Blacktop. He was part of like Reservoir Dogs, stuff like that. Listen, man, it's supposedly incredible.
You can defend this all you
I
want.
am. I've
we're
heard,
telling you we want to watch this.
I'll pick it. But
his game is winning. Her game is mad.
anything with the title Cockfighter, I'm in.
Yeah, like I was gonna make fun of you, but I want to watch this.
You
could have came last week and said my next pick is Cockfighter. We would have given you shit, and then I would have came back. This is a 5-star movie, Aaron. I'm sorry. You made a great choice. I loved every second of this terrible 70s
It was actually
movie.
programmed at the New Bev a couple months ago. New Beverly out in L.A., the place I like to go to. That I forced Scott to go to with me. I think Jordan's going to go with me next time, so at least I'll have somebody there that likes movies.
I like movies.
Who's just like to see
when we drive 72 hours to California to see a midnight showing, it's hard to stay up for a movie.
Drive faster.
Exactly.
It takes like 6 hours.
But so that's why I don't know. We got to get back on track here.
Fuck that. I'll talk about Cockfighter right now.
So yesterday, Disney Plus came out and with its Disney Plus Day and released a whole bunch of movie news and TV show news. And Jordan, you want to take us through that? Because I know it's like your day of jerking off. There, Boba Fett's on screen.
Oh my god, I don't even like Boba Fett as a character.
Really?
I really don't. Yeah, I don't.
Whoa.
I don't. Honestly, he got bitched out in fucking Return of the Jedi. He's barely in Empire. You think he's cool. He's a terrible character. The only reason I think this works now is the Mandalorian TV show. Shocker, yes, Mandalorian came up again. They made his character...
Pedro, right?
Yeah, that's that Pedro guy.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal.
So... I hate you guys so much. Cockfighter. The season 2 of the Mandalorian made Boba Fett a little bit more of a cooler character. He was more brutal. He was very, fucking pissed off. He got eaten by the Sarlacc, got out. I think there's a lot they can do with this character now. Before this, I didn't think his character was that great. So Disney Plus actually is out now. It's about a 30-minute long documentary. Under the Helmet, it's about Boba Fett. They're probably just going to kind of get you hyped up for the next month's release of the Book of Boba.
I'm excited about that. Are you excited about that? I know we're not getting a Mandalorian season 3 because of it, but...
Well, I think we're not getting a season 3 because Pedro Pascal actually is going to be in the HBO adaptation of
Last of Us.
And he was filming in that, so obligations to that kind of pushed the stuff out. So they kind of worked it around, and since they fucking developed technology, they can film these shows so quick now. That's why we're getting Book of Boba. But yeah, I am actually excited about that.
Me too.
I think it's going to be cool. I think the little teaser trailer they put out, I think a couple weeks ago, didn't sell it too much. I think it's going to be... I feel like it's just going to be stuck on Tatooine. I'm kind of hoping they don't just stay in the desert planet. They kind of branch out a little bit. But I think the premise sounds kind of cool.
I think it would be kind of more cool to stay on Tatooine and kind of see all the underground crime stuff that has nothing to do with like Luke or... a lot of Mos Eisley dealings and stuff like that. I think that'd be neat.
Well, and you're coming at a time where Jedi aren't around, so you're not going to really get the fucking laser sword shit. And it's like, I like that stuff, but yeah, you're right. You're going to get a lot more... I think it's going to be actually, a little bit more gangster Western than the Mandalorian.
I'm into that.
So
Neo-Western.
It's going to be pretty cool. I like that. I like the idea of it. We'll see. It comes out, I think, next month. This month, we are getting Hawkeye.
Yes, I'm actually stoked for this. Hawkeye's one of my favorite characters, always has been. Yeah. I love Haley Stanfield. I don't know how to pronounce it, but if you haven't seen any of her films, Edge of 17 is fucking awesome. Woody Harrelson's in it. I like the.
That is a good movie.
Oh, you seen that?
Yes, I have seen it.
Shut the fuck up! I'm actually very surprised,
dude.
It's a teen movie.
Coming to age teen movie.
Yeah, exactly. It has children in it, so I'm a big fan.
That sounds weird.
I love Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to play heavily on the storyline of him losing his hearing. They did a little sizzle reel, so they showed a little extended scene of the car chase. Actually, there was a little scene real quick, real funny. They were running out. They burst through the store, and they're running. And he's like, I got to get a car. And he runs over off screen, and she stops in front of like an old Camaro, and she goes, what about this one? And then he's trying to break into like a 1970 like Cadillac, and he goes, I'm not going to bust into a Camaro. And it's like, yeah, I guess you're right. And then, he's like, he's losing his hearing. He can't hear her, so she's kind of taking on stuff. So they're going to play into that. The reason I mention it is that one of the properties that they announced is that they're going to make a show based off of Echo, which is a character in the Hawkeye world. They are going to introduce her in this series. She's another, I think, Archer character. But yeah, she's going to get her own show. We're getting Ironheart, which is the female black Iron Man character. I honestly, I know nothing about her. Her name is Riri Williams. If you want to make fun of that, you insensitive bastards, go right ahead. I know in my head I'm thinking about it, but I'm not going to say it.
I think they're moving too fast.
I think they're developing properties that no one has any bases off of, which I guess could be a good thing because then they can almost do anything with it and not piss off the hardcores.
I guess.
Because when they change something, everyone's like, oh, why did they change the story?
There's so many stories to tell with all the characters that they already have that they're just rushing through with the comic. Like, they're eventually going to run out. Because we're already moving to Ironheart that just came out maybe 2 years ago, and it's just like rush.
Right.
And fuck all these other properties that we've, that have already been well established for hundreds of years hundreds, what I mean.
It's drinking from a fire hose that's just spraying money. That's exactly what it is. They're gonna do it until people just gag on the freaking product, and I mean they're just gonna saturate the market. I mean that's what everybody does. Got a good thing, plow it to the market.
Yeah. And then they got She-Hulk. They did a little 20-second snippet of that, which didn't really show a whole lot. I did like to see Ruffalo back as the Hulk, and I did like seeing a little bit where he's not always going to be Smart Hulk, which is kind of cool. So it's going to play into him actually kind of devolving from that character a bit.
That's good, because that was such a fucking
that was one
downer.
Choice that I didn't like in that last movie. But yeah, he's going to be in it. They didn't really show a whole lot, but it did show she was in costume for half a second that looked very comic accurate, which was kind of neat. I don't know too much about her character, but I like the actress playing Jennifer Walters, so I'm excited about that one. They showed a bit of Moon Knight, which
I'm very
looks really cool, and I had to watch a couple times because there's voiceover going, and it starts off with like very Cockney accent, and then there's a different accent, and it turns out that's all the same character. So Moon Knight's got I don't know, whatever clinical version of it. It's multiple disorder syndrome, whatever. And so he's crazy, and he's got this power. I know Ethan Hawke is going to be in this.
Ooh, I like
They haven't announced who his character is going to be yet. He is the villain. A lot of people are saying, well, it's possibly Dracula, only because then you can spin it off into Blade and all that stuff. So there's that. They showed little snippets, just quick little production stuff of, Secret Invasion. And they showed a picture of Nick Fury not wearing his eye patch, looked all messed up, and he's got his nice beard. I'm like, okay, all right. And I think they just signed Sam Jackson to another deal, so he's going to be around a while.
Jesus, so is Ajax from the Eternals. Let's. I did want to talk about some of the movies we've seen. I'm just gonna go. I know there's stuff you haven't seen, but we all saw Dune. We all saw the Eternals. I know it's kind of a little past Dune, but let me just touch on The Last Night in Soho. Fucking incredible. If you're out there, you're like, oh, I want to go see something at the movies. Edgar Wright doing his best Giallo impression, stealing a little bit from my bun Quentin Tarantino, trying to do that. Doesn't all work, kind of falls apart the second half, but still one of the better movies I've seen this year as an original property, not a sequel or something like that. I highly fucking enjoyed this film. I couldn't recommend it enough. Like I said, the second half isn't the greatest, but it's still very, 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 very good. And I also got a chance to see The French Dispatch, Wes Anderson doing his Wes Anderson thing. Fucking really good. It's 3 separate stories that are told in one movie. I actually really like this way of filmmaking. It all centers around the main story that with Bill Murray, Owen Wilson, stuff like that. But it's 3 separate stories. They're all very intriguing. Wes Anderson he always knows how to do it. And either you're a fan of Wes Anderson or you're not. Very, very good movies. Also had the chance to see Antlers. It's fucking awful.
That bums me out.
It's a horror film, but it's just not. It doesn't use the potential that it has with the cast and the story. Leaves a lot of things on the floor. A lot of things.
The trailers made it feel like it's going to be a monster movie.
There is a monster in it. There is, but the monster is the whole time. That's right.
Fuck, I hate those movies.
And it's not worth checking out in the theater. If you want to rent it on at home, I would definitely. But if you really want to get back to the movie theater, Last Night in Soho, French Dispatch, I could.
Quick, they're coming out on like Blu-ray and 4K like next month.
Oh, that is true. I didn't even think of that.
They're coming fast.
So
they're doing quick turnarounds on all these movies.
We had the chance to go see Eternals last weekend. I don't think anyone really talks about it because nobody saw it. So I guess everybody in the UK saw it, but I don't think anybody saw it here.
I mean, no one liked it here.
$70 million opening weekend. Some people saw it.
It made
What'd
some
you guys
money.
think? I've been talking for a minute. What did you guys think?
Okay, so from like a regular guy that's watching these movies, I go to see it because it's connected to Marvel, right? This movie it doesn't have any. As a standalone movie, it's okay.
Yeah.
As connected to the Marvel Universe, the reason they try to connect it, and the only way they connect it to the Marvel Universe, is they say Thanos 100 times. It doesn't really do anything because you find out that these people basically have these just phenomenal powers, and it's like, okay, then why didn't you stop shit? It's, because we couldn't. You know, it doesn't, to like your average dude like me, man, it was just an okay movie. They checked all the boxes. They had all the woke stuff that they needed to have in the movie. You know, and it was an okay watch. If you're looking for a Marvel action movie, I don't get the fucking Harry Styles thing.
He plays a character that's coming up. So.
I know. Why Harry Styles?
Who cares?
Because the character is a very gregarious, womanizing, pretty boy. So Harry Styles kind of fits. Like, honestly, that didn't bother me as much as I thought it would. And
womanizing,
only because
he walks around in women's clothing all the time. That makes sense.
Because I think
this isn't a political podcast. Shut
motherfuckers.
Yeah. I don't care what he
no,
wears.
I'm just saying. It's just for me. It's a weird fit because I'm like, I thought the same thing. So it's got Angelina Jolie. It's got Salma Hayek. Now we've got Harry Styles. I think they're grabbing the bag of these high-profile people to try to make them Marvel characters, and I don't want to see that. Bring me some new people to the table. I don't need Salma Hayek in her weird accent talking about, being a superhero and doing this whole thing. It's too way off-putting for me as a normal guy. Give me different people.
I think Eternals is going to be a one-off. I think it was completely unnecessary. It didn't feel like it pushed any type of story along. It was just there to be there. I didn't find it necessarily offensive or bad. I just didn't care about it at all. Once it was 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I was just like, okay, and it was fine. It wasn't anything. It was moldy bread, mushy bread.
It's the
mushy
meme
rice.
It's the meme of the dog sitting in the burning room, and he's
This
like, "This is fine,"
but it's not even burning. So it's just
the story. The Marvel history is burning up around Eternals, and they're trying to make it relevant and make it fit.
I guess it just didn't do anything for me.
I think this movie would have been better served as a Disney Plus series to give more breathing room to introduce these characters, because you've got 10 characters in this movie. No one knows anything about them. It's like Guardians of the Galaxy had a couple characters that no one knew about, but that movie gave enough time to really get to know them. So that movie worked. So then they're like, well, let's do it bigger. Let's add about 40 minutes of runtime, and it did nothing for it.
But that was what made Marvel better. So Marvel's superseded the DC realm with introducing characters.
Right.
They introduced the characters slowly and then built it up. Now it's almost like Marvel is doing this DC thing where they're just blowing it in your face and they're trying to give you everything.
Come on, DC doesn't have a guy who can fly and shoot laser beams out of it. Oh, hold on. No, you're right. You know what? No, Marvel doesn't have a speedster. Oh, shit, you're right. No, Marvel doesn't have this Amazon-type woman that has weapon. No, hold on. No, yeah, you're right. They're only missing like a water guy.
So, no, it's funny because the girl, Minari, I think is her name in the film. Makari, she thinks she's faster than the Flash, and I've raged out on the internet about that. Like, are you insane? The Flash is pretty much a god. He can control time and space and run faster than an attosecond. Like, this chick is just fast.
But I didn't hate this movie. I think it did suffer from not giving it enough breathing room. They tried to introduce way too much too quickly. The whole movie is spent trying to assemble these people together again.
Right.
And the big payoff wasn't there. They set up this villain that was dispatched in seconds. Like, there was just nothing. It didn't bring anything.
The only thing it was missing was Sylvester Stallone, John Cena, Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was like they were like, this is the Expendables of Marvel.
I mean, exactly. That's what it was. It was just
with no characters that I gave literally two shits about.
Well, yeah,
and then
you've got moments where it's like, one character literally stabs someone in the back, and then 3 minutes later, she's like, "Hey, I can help you out." Like, no, just because like she literally tried to kill you,
right?
And there's just the characters were not like, a lot of them were very wooden. Like, there's two characters in this movie that I didn't think were going to be that great. Kumail Nanjiani's character, I liked him because like you thought he was going to be the haha funny guy, and he's had a few moments in the movie where he's making little one-liners, but for the most part, like, he's just like, look, I believe in the grand design of why we're here. I believe in this, but I also know that I can't force that on you. Okay, cool. He bows out a little bit. And then I liked his valet. Like, the random fucking Indian dude was fucking funny in parts where he needed to be funny. And that's sad because you're supposed to like these 10 superhero crazy characters. And I like the random Indian guy that's shaking his head like an Indian dude and fucking saying random shit. And just like, okay.
See, I
liked him. And then everything else was just like, bleh.
Well, the funny thing is,
and I like the
very
Irish
stereotypical. They played a very stereotypical role, which is weird in that kind of year because let's admit it, everybody's kind of moved away from being like the stereotypes, and we can't do this, can't do that. He was a very like they're going to make him a very stereotypical older Indian guy with the broken accent, and he was the comic relief.
Yeah, and I found his character actually just kind of fun, and whatever. And then I like the Droog character.
Yeah, I like Droog.
Irish
I like
guy.
Barry. I can't pronounce.
I think
it. Keegan. He's in one of my favorite movies of all time called Killing of a Sacred Deer. If you haven't seen it, please watch it. That dude, literally every film he's in, he makes better. He's, in my opinion, the best part of that film.
You know what he was going to be in until he took this job?
What?
Why the Last Man? He was going to be the main character, and then
that show fucking sucks.
Well, it's done.
But I know they canceled it. But man, maybe he would have made it better. It was originally supposed to be Shia LaBeouf,
like
many years ago. I would take a movie with him in it as Why the Last Man. But,
yep. So yeah, that was his project before he bowed out and joined the Eternals.
Well, guys, it's been probably an hour, right?
Feels like it.
56.
That's fine. It's not a big deal. I know this was a little unconventional. It's just the movie that we picked was so fucking terrible. So hopefully you enjoyed our renditions of the movies we've seen and stuff like that. Once again, Jordan's movie for next week is
Prospect
with the fucking Mandalorian.
I hate you guys.
And then
no Steve Zahn.
We'll
tell you that.
And then Scott will pick his movie, and then we'll give you a snack show, and then we are going to start the holiday movie fest. So be ready for holiday films galore next month, holiday snacks, and we're going to count down our top 5 favorite movies of the year and throw in some worst movies of the year.
We're just going to
watch isn't going to make
lifetime Christmas movies till we bleed out of our eyeballs.
Everything
with Candace Cameron.
I'm not going to lie.
Bure
I hate Christmas. I hate
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that to you.
I'm already upset that most of it's in the stores.
When I said that, Aaron gave me this look like, "Oh shit, you just got what my movie was."
No, I would do
How
that
many
to you.
Christmas Lacey Chabert movies?
I love Lacey Chabert.
Well, she's in fucking like 1,000.
She's in this great movie with the dude from Heroes.
No,
I can't think of the guy's name. But
where they bake Christmas cookies.
No, it's called Dirty Deeds.
She runs a bed and breakfast in like New Hampshire.
No, it's man, I gotta think.
He's back from the military, can't fucking get in the Christmas spirit, and her baking wakens his eyes.
And he owns
this month from Hallmark.
Owns a Christmas tree lot, and she goes over. And
she's Jewish. He's Christian.
Milo.
They get into the Hanukkah spirits.
Milo.
Fucking hate the holidays.
How do you say his last name?
Movie.
I think we have the Grinch over here.
Milo Ventimiglia.
He was the one that played Sylvester Stallone's son in Rocky because he's got the same mouth problem.
And Lacey Chabert, and it gets a 7% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Lacey
but I
7%.
love this fucking movie. It's called Dirty Deeds. He has to do 12 deeds before midnight. He's like a high schooler. I don't care. It's a good movie, but it's not a good.
Makes a lot more sense.
No, it's not a good movie. It's entertaining, I should say.
I just said I like the pass, so I'm going to give you a pass on this one.
Yeah, guys. So, as always, you can
Come
follow
on, it's
along
Christmas.
at Watch It Later Pod on Instagram and Twitter. And I got my Twitter. I finally re-Twittered it up.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I didn't know you were back on Twitter.
I just
Here
decided.
comes the political rants.
No,
Shit.
See
See how many things he can get kicked off of this month. I will be. I actually will be starting up a Facebook page
Thank
for the
God.
group. I will be getting that done.
Maybe one day I'll be able to interact with it.
No, you won't.
Yeah. So, anyways,
I'm going to report you from our page. Just get you kicked off again.
so
Quiet around here.
once we get all that stuff up, we'll post all our snags and stuff like that. But you can always follow. You can always contact us at Watch It. Go to our website, watchitlaterpod.com. Yeah, guys, we will be back next week for you with The Prospect, and we will see you guys in a week. We hope you have a good week. All right. I'm going to say week one more time. I'm Aaron.
I'm Jordan this week.
And I'm Scott this week.
This is what I'll watch it later. We'll talk to you guys
Next
week.